What's crackalackin, folks? Welcome back to Factorio. Welcome back to Pyanodons. Hey Yuki, while you're still at work, I'm sorry. I have time now. And here we're seeing that our initial crude oil cracking is making good progress on being built. But now today we will look at what to do with the output of these, the medium oil, the medium distillates, high distillates, low distillates, and the residual mix and the condensates. So I think my idea is that we just put everything into one big station that cracks all of them. And this still has bitumen in here, so we have the numbers we can expect. We're not going to crack the medium distillates yet because we need a research for that. And that one is still a bit out. Light oil processing stage 2 for the strip distillates. We need titanium tetrachloride for that. So we make that a separate station later. So we're not going to touch these today right now. But the rest, we're going to get a lot of residual oil, especially from the bitumen that we still have to set up. And therefore, we get a lot of coke out of this. This is like 114 coke per second. So that's going to be like at least 2 stations. We get heavy oil tailings, stone, refined. Where do we get stone from? Oh, that's here. That doesn't apply. Refined natural gas, a little bit of coal gas, BTX, some syngas, and petroleum gas. We get surprisingly little petroleum gas. That's from the condensed distillates, from the high distillates, and gasoline gives us naphtha and condensed distillates. That gives us a little bit of gasoline back and petroleum gas. Can we get anything else out of them? Hydrogen later. But yeah, petroleum gas, only 18.8 per second. That's not a lot. At least we get a bit of BTX and a lot of heavy oil, which can then also convert into kerosene for power. I set 2 buildings here to make a little bit of coal gas because we need it for mining aluminium, but I'm gonna do it so it can fully convert all of the the low distillates into heavy oil, and then just prefer to do coal gas until it is full. We still need tin chromium alloy for that. We haven't made that, and sadly we can't do that with molten yet, so we need chromium plates and tin plates and a smelter to make enough of this. That still needs to be set up. So we know we need 0.5 tin chromium alloy here. We might still need it later for the medium distillates as well. We primarily need titanium tetrachloride, but that's something to keep in mind. So let's put that on our to-do that we also need to make tin chromium. And add that to the top. How's molten solder? I mean, these stations can soon be hooked up. I was looking at the gravel out. We might need that because the gravel here for copper is filling up soon. Are you working? You're not working. Why again are you not working? Because you have no coke. Why do we have no coke? Are these not working? How much coke is in here? 217. Yeah, that's not a lot. And 1,000 here. So this is not working because I guess we're all full. Right, aromatics is full, gasoline is full. Well, it should still work because these should be voided. We have no tar. Why do we have no tar? We're full on coal gas. And why is this not pumping? S equals 0. Yeah, why is there S set? S equals 0. It is 0. It should be enabled, and this one should be enabled as well, right? Greater than 99K. This is full. Oh, I see. We need, it's cold gas, so we need one of these, obviously. Okay. That means we will have tar again soon after this is fixed. And syngas has the same issue. This is a gas, so it needs an exhaust pipe, and then tar needs the sinkhole. Okay, well, that explains why we don't have any coke. Now, next question, where do we put cracking of the remaining distillates? I think we leave this free because we need sulfur soon and phosphate rock potentially soon. But we can put a station here to the right, like under it, and then build downward. There's nothing in the way for us. So let's get started on that. In here, let's start with another stacker ground to single R. Let's go here. And then what do we import? Well, we start with condensates and high distillates. And this time, I think we do 2 per. We have 4R fluid unloading. And that is high distillates. And then the second one will be, let's do low distillates. Actually, we want like minus 75,000. So the trains come in a bit earlier. And not only when it's completely empty. And then we need to set these to high distillates. And these to low distillates. So they only get pumped into the appropriate place. Request only, but these are different. That's fine. We set this over here and put, well, let's put one of the fancy power generators here. Good, that's the first station. Let's mark it with high distillates and low distillates. We want distillates. There we go. Then next, what do we need? Condensates and residual mixture. Let's squeeze that in here. Condensates. Actually doing minus 75,000 here as well. And then residual mixture. I think it's residual mixture that everything produces, right? Residual mixture from crude oil and residual mixture from bitumen as well. So minus 75k. Hey Matthias, good evening. It's quite hot here, close to 30 degrees Celsius. It's crazy. I hope you stay cool. Enjoy some Factorio. Here it's about 25 degrees, 26 degrees, I think. 68 degrees Fahrenheit. So it is more enjoyable, but the office is getting hot because the sun is hitting the roof. So it's more like 20, 28 in here. But yeah, I hope you stay cool. Get something good to drink, something cool to drink. Let's turn this around. And then what do we have? Condensates and residual mixtures. So we put the filter and condensates here. And then residual mixture here. There we go. This is condensates and residual mixture. Good. What else do we need as input? We need tin chromium alloy. Not using pi tanks. I'm using them for larger storage. Where do we have some? Actually, don't know where. Here we have some. I'm using that in the back here for larger storage. But for compactness, these are actually pretty good. This entire array here, or as it holds, I think 200,000. So it's 2 train loads. And for, I mean, what else do we have? We have pi tanks, which they would be bigger. So it would be possible to use those, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. They work fine. And then when I need bigger storage, I just put the 100 KL one here. So it's not in the way of the trains, and we can pack them denser if we want to. Because if I remove this side here, I can place them that close together. And with the 40k pi tanks, it would work equally as well. So yeah, it's just I started with these because these were in the normal blueprint, and you know, I just continue using them. They're fine enough. I think the price of this one is probably the same, 30 lead plate, 10 lead plate, duralumin. So yeah, they're kind of comparable. Yeah, these are comparable, and they're both 15 KL, and that's 25 KL. So yeah, it doesn't make a big difference. I just started with these because these were in the blueprint and they fit nicely together, and that is really the only reason, to be honest. I could make it so the tanks directly connect. Hey Bayfish, how you doing? But I was too lazy. I'm doing well, thank you for asking. Just hopping on Factorio for a bit before I have another appointment. So it's gonna be like a 1.5 hour stream or something like that. Then I have another appointment, and afternoon and early evening are booked. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna stream tonight, but you know, maybe I will. So right now, today, we're just gonna take a look at oil and hopefully get through that. So the next one is tin chromium alloy and ash. And we need very little of both of these. So we need a 4R unloading. So we could also double that. What do we need? Ash. Can set this to ash. Set filter. And this to tin chromium alloy. Set filter. There we go. And we don't need 40,000. We need, let's say, 5,000. And you can request threshold 4,000, because we also have the tin chromium alloy. stacks to 100, so we can do 1,000 to that. We can do 4,000 of tin chromium alloys. So let's request 5,000 as well. So we get a new train. Bye, Bayfish. That works. My train stations are a bit more compact with 1-1 trains. Yeah, I have 4-1 trains for mining trains because they potentially have to go longer distances going forward. And then 1-2-1 trains for everything else, for the trash network and the normal provider network. Good, so tin chromium alloy and ash. What else do we need? Gasoline. At least a bit to kickstart it. And we need a 4R fluid unloading. Yeah, there you go. Gasoline. We want minus... I don't need 50,000. Let's do minus... Yeah, I might as well do a full tank, but we want to... When there's only 5,000 left, please request a new one, and we don't need this side at all. Connect the power. It's gasoline, minus 55,000. And that works. So this is ash, tin chromium, and then gasoline. That should be G, not gasoline, but gasoline. There we go. And this is the wrong way around. I should fix that in the blueprint, but I'm too lazy. The other thing, it's not on one of these blueprints. Good. That should be it. Surprisingly, my generic trains for cargo stuff work almost without hiccups. Needs to speed up train refueling for it to work even better. Okay. Are you using something like LTN or Cybersyn, or using vanilla methods? All right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 liquid outputs now. So that's going to be a bit. And we need fluid loading. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Vanilla with some combinated logic, nice. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, this blueprint book, the Rails one, has some combinated logic where basically a train goes to any station that has enough to fulfill a request, and then the train signal is go to station named content of the train. So every station that has enough available is open, and the train just picks a random one, and then it says, okay, my content is iron ore, so I go to station iron ore. And that works somewhat well as well. I did that on my Space Age run with just vanilla, no mods. And that worked decently as well on Gleba. I did that. Good, let's do petroleum gas, syngas, and BTX. Oh, I just go here. Whatever. BTX goes here. And we have coal gas and refined natural gas. Tailings and heavy oil. Good. And then we need like 2 stations for coke. at least. So we need lubricant as well. So let's squeeze that actually in here. Do we do the request and provide at the same time? Yeah, let's just put a normal station down. I'm not in the mood to think right now. Let's just do this. Fluid unloading for lubricant. And we want 5,000. We don't need this here. And then the fluid is, let's say, 3K. I want 4K here. Should be good enough. So this is lube. This goes out. And then the Coke loading. So 4R loading. One can go here. One can go here. That is Coke on both sides. There we go. Power needs to be connected. And there we go. Now, lubricant. Let's connect that here. And let's get a magic pipe here that gives us lubricant. Where is it? Down here. Good. And then we need a few more over here. This down, this down, and all of the loaders should have lubricant. Very nice. 100,000 automation science packs. Very nice. Making progress. All right, let's see what we start with. I think we do the residual oil last because that is the one that has the Coke, and that is at the end of our bus. So let's start with low distillates into 2 heavy oil refineries for the heavy oil refineries, and that's low distillates. And you can make coal gas. You need to be spaced apart. I mean, not really, but not good to... that is annoying that they're... Let's do this. Almost. This one, and then this one, and this doesn't reach. But we only need 2. And then you come up here. There we go, low distillates. We get a magic pipe to provide the low distillates. And you need tin chromium alloy, which is here. Let's do it here. And how much do you need? 0.25. It's fine, we'll just do it here. And then we get coal gas. Let's inject some tin chromium alloy. And get a loader. And there we go. And that should make coal gas, which we will promptly get out of here this way. Coal gas. The question is, I think I should put some bigger tanks here in front of all of that. But we can... And for coal gas, we don't want to keep more than these 200,000 because we don't need much of it. But we want to make sure that we void everything that is not being used, right? So how do we do this best? And we want to store more than probably 200,000 of each of these outputs. Maybe 300,000 or something like that. So let's move this down a bit. Let's remove this and let's think about it. Probably want to have these here. Gasoline. Oh, gasoline is incoming. We don't need that. Petroleum gas, BTX, syngas, sure. Coal gas, we don't want to make that much. Refined natural gas, tailings, we just get rid of it. Heavy oil. So these are the ones we want to keep. So let's do these all a bit further down. All right, I moved it as well. That doesn't help. Low distillates. Good, and then the coal gas is the only one we don't buffer much because we don't need much and we don't want to produce more anyway than we really need because it is a very low value fuel and we get it from other sources anyway, potentially. So coal gas out, tin chromium alloy is coming in. We should get some coal gas and we're not going to void it because the low distillates also go somewhere else. Specifically, the low distillates will go into compressors. If I set the building count to just disable it, yeah. We need 9.1 compressors, so 10 compressors with gasoline to make heavy oil. Compressors, do we put them? We can put them to this side, I guess. And we get heavy oil out of this. We cannot stack them together like, oh, we can. So low distillates. Move it out a bit. How much space do we have? Yeah, we got plenty of space here. Can you move it out one more to make a lot of space? And move that up here. And gasoline. And then water we just provide up here via one of these. All right, gasoline is also on the network here, so we can fish it out from here. And I think we are producing gasoline somewhere here as well, right? From the petroleum gas, but it's immediately used by the naphtha. So we do that when we do high distillate processing. Good, gasoline. Let's put another magic pipe there. And get gasoline in. There it is. And what are you missing? You miss power. You miss power as well, I assume. And let's connect that up here. There we go. Both of them are working. And coal gas is produced. Very good. And then you're working to produce heavy oil and residual oil and a bunch of steam. Do we need 150-degree steam for something else? Yes, we need it for residual mixture. And you produce tons of it. So we're gonna have an overflow valve for that. Actually, oil and oil slurry also needs a ton of 150-degree steam, but we can make that with nitrogen. So we don't have to do bitumen here. Nitrogen can make it pretty effectively with a little bit of gasoline. So we are here, heavy coal, like coal gas we did, heavy oil we just made. We need 10 of these. And then the steam can be used for the residual mixture stuff. But the overflow needs to go somewhere. So we're gonna have pipes here. And then right up here, I'm gonna put an overflow valve. Overflow valve, and then a exhaust pipe, so we can get rid of the steam. The residual oil needs to be converted into residual mixture, but we get residual oil here anyway, so we pipe that into that whole setup here. And the heavy oil we export. So let's start with the heavy oil maybe. All right, start with making 10 of these. 2, 3, 4, 10. Is that 10? That's exactly 10. Perfect. And are all of them working? No. But we need more water. How much water do they use? 1,300. So we actually need 2 of these. There we go. Now all of them should be working perfectly well, because these wells only give us 1,200 per second, and we need 1,300, but the pipes have the throughput, so we just put 2 of these down. Now heavy oil is here, so we don't put a pump down. I don't know if we really need a pump. We certainly need a pump here. Actually, we may not need a pump here, because this pump already pumps it in. This one, I think we want to have a pump to get as much into the tank as possible. But yeah, I don't think it matters much. Let's get heavy oil sorted here. Oh, it even works out perfectly. Nice. Good, and the residual oil we need to keep with us, so to say, till we deal with residual mixture. Good, so heavy oil is done. We might as well do residual mixture next. And we need 10 DDCs to create, to make residual mixture into coking gas oil and 100 coke. So that's 10 buildings and 10 belts almost. And then what is 117 divided by 15? That's 8 belts. Perfect. That's exactly how many belts we have on the output. So 10 DDCs with pretty much 1 belt each. And then we do a, I don't know what balances I have. Actually, these are, yeah, 10 per second. So we can have each of them have 2 belts. That should work out. All right, let's try this out. So we have DDCs. And we get residual mixture here. And you make residual mixture and vacuum into coke, residual oil, and coking gas. Oh, that's exactly what we want. How much vacuum do we need? 500 per second, which is 6 pressure pumps. So we put them on the side. And we also need to look how we do the piping. It's here. I kind of want to have it here as input. Yeah, then the vacuum is down here. The residual oil is here. And then this one goes out to here. All right, is that everything? Now we need the, yeah, the annoying thing is we can't really share lanes here. What balance? Do I have a 10 to 8 balancer? What do I have? 10 to 8, yeah, and 10 to 10. Do I have a 9 to 8? Let's see, we're gonna have another 2. So I could do another 10 to 8 later. Okay. So each of them gets its own belt. I guess we do it this direction then. And then we can copy this over. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Need to give it power. Then you need residual mixture, which we need to get a magic pipe for. Residual mixture. There we go. You're being pumped in here. We need the vacuum. So we said we need 6 pressure pumps. There we go. The vacuum is this one. Does this connect? It does. You can't put them here. 1, 2, 3. Well, does that connect? Need a vacuum. No. Perfect. We need power 2, huh? Two, 4. Yeah, we only fit 1. We have to offset it here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. That should be all the vacuum we need. And then, yeah, 80 coke. How much do you output? 10 coke per second. We need fast inserters for that, don't we? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we kind of need this side, so let's remove these. And leave the pipes, whatever. Kind of want this side for the belts, because we have more inserters here. We can delete all of these for now. There we go. And then how many do we need? 10 per second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We need like 2 fast inserters. We do offset inside, offset inside, offset inside. And we put the power poles here. There we go. That should be enough. So that's what? 4.6, 5.8, 7, 8.2, 9.4, 10.6. There we go. Enough output. I probably should put these at the top. Put these down here. So they can fill up the belt at full speed. Good, let's copy this now. 10 times. Like this, probably. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We need 10 of these, right? We need exactly 10 of these. Perfect. This connects. You're missing vacuum. Okay. The vacuum we now do just up here as a little cluster. 1, 2, 3. We need 6, right? 4, 5, 6. There we go. Give him some power. There you go. And we got a vacuum. It's happy it has too much coke, yeah, but we should be outputting it fast enough. Okay. So, coke. Gonna have a 10 to 8 balancer because we get another 2 later, and then we're gonna bounce that down to 8 as well, because I don't think I have a 12 to 8 balancer. What balances do we have? 12 to 4. Yeah, we don't have a 12 to 8. 11 to 10, 15 to 10, 20 to 5, yeah. We just do... two 10 to 8 ones. And let's get it. $10 to 8 bouncer. What a beast. There we go. And then we have the coking gas oil, and then also the residual mixture. And this one is residual oil. Does this not produce residual oil? It does produce residual oil. Where is it? Here it is, residual oil. Do we prioritize this at all? That is the question. I don't think we have to. We should have enough throughput to get all of these taken care of. So we need 5 mixers and 12 ash per second to make more residual mixture. How do we pump that in then? think we put an underflow valve here. If the output is less than 80%, we will output here. And then the residual mixture from the output of the other one, the mixers, gets priority. Mixer. There we go. And we put the mixers here, I'd say. And we need residual mixture. We get the residual oil. And you need steam. Yeah, you need a 150-degree steam. So we get that from over here. That is also one we should export, so to say. Oh, that's not long enough, period. Fine. There we go. Yeah, we're running out of space a bit for the condensates and high distillates, but yeah, we got a little left. There you go. So you have residual oil we need to connect. Aha, it doesn't fit here. There we go. And this is the residual oil. There we go. And then you only miss ash. And one belt of ash is enough, 12 per second. How much do you need? 2.5. So that's 2 of these and 1 of the mechanical ones. And then you need a power. Good, now let's bring the ash in. I think these span the whole distance, right? Yeah, barely. Ash is in here. Let's inject this one with ash. There we go. Good. We need a total of 5 of those. Cut this off. The steam goes here. We need power poles as well. And that gives us residual mixture again. I can't make it across here. There we go. Good, and the residual mixture is here. There we go. Yeah, we're full on coke, but you're getting rid of the residual mixture. Perfect. Good. So we're done with this step. Well, not everything. We're done with this step. We get a bit more coke and coke oven gas. We actually should export the coke oven gas instead of syngas, because that is more useful to keep hot air going. And the syngas, we only get 25.1 per second, and yeah, it's not really worth it. So let's forget this. Let's make this coke oven gas as export. Coke oven gas. There we go, much better. All right, so we need 3 ionic upgraders for the coking gas oil. And that also gives us some coke. Where do we get the coking gas oil? Here. We can go around the bottom, to be honest. Oh, you need steam as well? Well, that is convenient. And then the coking gas oil goes here, and then the water goes here. And then the coke oven gas goes here. Well, no, doesn't go here. This is fine, so they don't connect. And we need 3 of these. And then we extend this a bit. There we go. Oh, it's the wrong pipe. Whoops. Whoopsie daisy. That's not the one I wanted. That was the water pipe, you know. Almost the same. And then we need one more of these. And they're working. And how much coke do you produce? 6.66. I think we need fast inserters for this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, yellow ones barely make it. They all need to be long-handed. And then half of you insert on the inside. There we go. Gotta remove the medium electric poles. Transport belt is in the way, that's fine. And then we put the power in front of it. Perfect. Put it one further down so it's not in the way directly. Technology silicon carbide has been researched. We're so close to the light oil processing, which is allowing us to do the last oil processing step. I think we need fertilizer 2 to get to Corlexes. What was the other thing we were looking at? I think water invertebrates gets us to PyScience. So we have Yadels, Sipirs, Corlexes. Corlexes give us Corlex milk, which might be... Is that a plastic recipe? Oleochemicals, melamine, and casein and hot air, and formaldehyde. Interesting. But yeah, Corlex into plastic may be the next thing we look at. Good, this is running. Now let's get these reconnected. Or set up to the next 10 to 8 balancer. These can just come down like this. And that's our final 8 belt for output here to these 8. I think we just run it like that here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So we don't need the splitters here. Because we already split it in the 10 to 8 splitter. But did we have 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, dummy. Don't draw 10 lanes then. That would help. All right. Coke is flowing. Look at that. That is an insane amount of coke that we get out of this. But that's good. And coke oven gas. Correct. We almost can hop over there if we go one further. We have coke oven gas here. Let's put a pump on it. And there we go. Give it some power. Boom! Coke oven gas. We still need to do all the logic for when to void, when to not void. But yeah, that's a whole other discussion. Let's do this as oil cracking voiding. Ah, shit. Oil cracking voiding. I'm not gonna click 20 times to add it to the top. We just put it to the top like this. Good. All right, Yafk, what are you saying? We have this. That's all of them. That's all of our residual oil taken care of. Very nice. Coal gas is taken care of. Next is refined natural gas from the condensates. So we need 7 gas refineries for the condensates. Where are they hiding? They're hiding here. We kind of want to bring them down like here. And what do we need? We need a gas refinery. And then we bring... Too far to connect? Ugh. There we go. And then we add the magic pipe for condensates. Good. And we're making refined natural gas. Turn around. Put that in the middle. Then we have tailings, refined natural gas, and BTX. And we export those. Add a power pole in here. Doesn't span, sadly. And we're gonna get a grand total of 7 of these. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, perfect. Don't need this, don't need this, don't need this, don't need this. Now, tailings is all the way over here. Oh, I can't span here. This is so annoying. Can't get across here either. Okay, we gotta do this one here. So we can do this one here. And where's tailings? Tailings is here. There we go. Tailings is a go. And here we just do a overflow valve into voiding it, because tailings aren't important to keep, right? They're not an output product, they're a waste product. Next thing, we can't do this because we're in two different networks. I just realized. Because tailings is on the trash network. So you're gonna put tailings. Yeah, a little bit of space doesn't matter. Can we squeeze a whole nother rail in here? Pi for our fluid loading. Nope. So we do this. And that's tailings now. There we go. Let's connect all of these up. All of these up. Quite a station. Look at that beast. All right, ref syngas. And then BTX. Tailings go further now. There we go, tailings. And then overflow valve into voiding. There we go, perfect. Good. Now, refined syngas goes, BTX goes here. So let's deal with that first. Boom, BTX needs power. Wow, I put it exactly so it's in the middle. And then we have refined syngas is refined natural gas, sorry. Put a pump here as well. And you can go like here looks good. Oh, too far. That was heavy oil I was looking at. And then also for these two, I need to connect this up. Perfect. So this step for the refined natural gas is done. Now we have left the high distillates. And we need 4 light oil refineries to crack it into condensed distillates and a naphtha. Am I exporting naphtha? Because I remember writing that down. No, so we could theoretically... Yeah, we do this. We need to connect the red wire here again. And then this is naphtha. And we output that here. Good, so it happened. Hello, what am I working in? This is a sandbox. Let me save the game real quick and I find the mod name for you. It is called Blueprint Sandboxes. Temporary editor, light permissions, and lab-like environments for designing and experimenting. So you pretty much have a separate little sandbox where you can immediately put everything down and have like spawners that spawn items for you. And then, obviously it doesn't connect to the to the real map, right? I just blueprint it and put it down, and then the robots build it for me. So yeah, Blueprint Sandboxes is the mod called. Hope that is helpful to you. All right, BTX, why are you not being... Yeah, it helps if the pump is in the right direction, for sure. For sure. Now, where was I? 4 light oil refineries. Oh my god. Can you add exciting base to Sandbox? You can add anything you want to the Sandbox. You can just build in here like you were in the editor, and yeah, you can try out anything. You can build a whole base in the editor if you want to in the Sandbox, but if you just want to use the editor, you can always just, you know, switch to the editor and build an exciting base in your real world. All right, high distillates and gasoline again. Where's our friend gasoline? Here. I think we need to move the BTX. There we go. Oh, existing? Sorry. Yeah, you can... Let's say we want to do this. So what I usually do is I spec out a certain piece of land that I have to build. So let's say I want to say, okay, I have only this much space to build. So you make a just command Control C to copy it. You click into the sandbox and you paste it down here, and then it builds it for you here. So yeah, you can put an existing base into the sandbox just by copy and then paste into the sandbox. Hope that is what you wanted to know. But you have to copy it and import it. You can't copy like the resource patches and stuff like that. But yeah, you can copy an existing thing just by copy pasting it into the sandbox. And let's do gasoline here. Let's move, whoops. Yeah, you're welcome. Of course. All right, high distillates and gasoline. Let's actually put it here. And output is naphtha and these distillates. How are they called? Condensed distillates. So let's get the gasoline in here first. And then the high distillates. Yeah, somewhere we have space here. I think here is free. What a spaghetti. But we live for the spaghetti. It's all the way over here. There we go, some magic pipe to get some high distillates. I am using yet another Factorio calculator for this. As soon as Nightbot wakes up, it will give you the link. It's called Yet Another Factorio Calculator, YAFC, Y-A-F-C. And this is the community edition from SH Pass that is maintaining it right now. The original from blanking on his name is no longer maintained by the original author. Like, he got busy. Therefore, you know, there's a community edition right now, and that is the one I'm using. And the community edition is maintained with the permission of the author. Kindly. kindly given. And we need 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. They are working. Any pipes that cross over here? Not that I see. Good. So the naphtha, we just export directly. Oh, for the naphtha, we also need another one of these. And a pump. And naphtha, we can just put it here. That's fine. Good. You like this one more than an in-game one like Hellmod? Yeah, the difference is Hellmod and Factory Planner struggle with the more complex recipes of Pyanodons. Hellmod can do a lot. It struggles with only very few recursive recipes. Like later when you get into the most complex copper and iron smelting and stuff like that, where you have a lot of byproducts being products of previous products. So for example, here we have residual mixture that becomes residual oil, and then residual oil that becomes residual mixture again. With these kind of things, Hellmod struggles a bit, not always, but there's some parts in Pyanodons that it struggles with, and YAFC is the one that can solve all of these so far without any issues. And the Pi community is also very invested in the YAFC maintenance, or the maintainers of the YAFC community are very involved in Pyanodons, so there's always good support for that as well. So that's why I'm using it, and it's a pretty good program to begin with. Okay, then with the condensed distillates, we can make something nice. We can make a bit of gasoline and petroleum gas. So we actually need another overflow valve for gasoline. We need 2 gas refineries again for that. These are gas refineries, right? Yep. And we are making petroleum gas. Yeah, Factory Plan is annoying, having to move all of the byproducts up or down the chain to get accurate results. Yeah, Hellmod is sometimes similar to that. Last time I used it. So yeah, Factory Planner at least now supports different temperatures of liquids. So what, here's a good example. What Factory Planner didn't understand before, that you can have steam of 250 degrees or steam of 150 degrees. And Factory Planner would only understand it's steam. Like, it would ignore the requirement that it needs to be steam greater than 250 degrees. I think they just added that to an update of Factory Planner. So Factory Planner now understands temperatures as well. I think Hellmod did it for a very long time. But yeah, Factory Planner can now also understand the temperatures, which is good. So it made it a little bit more compatible with Pi. But I still would, if you want an integrated one, I think Hellmod is the one that will get you the furthest. And if you play Pi, I would just go with YAFC, because it can solve all of the problems that Pyanodons has, and Hellmod struggles with the more complicated ones. They're very similar though. There are some nice features of Hellmod that it gives you a building list, and you can instantly eyedrop like the building with the right recipe and stuff like that. But yeah, I would go with YAFC. You're welcome, sure. Actually, we turn this around and input this here. And then gasoline, just put it here. And the petroleum gas goes here. Good, now gasoline here. You need a underflow valve. So we have space for the new gasoline that's produced. to flow into here and be used instead. I hope the underflow valves are good enough for that. We will see if it gets stuck. Okay, power. Let's give some power to you. Power to the factory. And you're happy now as well. So now we have petroleum gas, a little bit off, literally just a trickle, that we are going to export as well. That was a little too far. Whoops. But petroleum gas is here, so we were close. And it lines up perfectly. Very nice. Good. And then you need a connection down here. All right. This is, I think, the full extent of our oil cracking. We still have to set up bitumen. And I haven't considered the bitumen straight into heavy oil, then into kerosene for power generation. We might look into that as well. But for now, how much naphtha do we produce? Exactly 113? Oh yeah, that's exactly how much. Yeah, so we pretty much use all our naphtha for bitumen production. What is naphtha used? Oh, it's also used for rare earth minerals mining. So it actually has to share between bitumen and rare earth mineral mining. Interesting. Yeah, but with both of these together, we just barely produce enough naphtha to keep bitumen going. But let's put it that way. With 2 oil wells, we can support 402 bitumen per second, which is 19.3 miners. But we could also use less miners. Let's say if we don't link this, right? And we use 10 miners. We would get 53, yeah, we'd get 50 extra. So that's good. So yeah, we will probably start with something like 10 oil sand extractors then. So we get extra naphtha for rare earth mineral mining. And then for bitumen, we just get less coke, right? Significantly less coke. But yeah, we built it for the scalability of these 10 belts. And, you know, if we don't need as much naphtha for rare earth ore mining, we can always produce more bitumen and then convert that into residual mixture and medium distillates and stuff like that. All right, we are stopped. Why are we stopped? We have too much residual oil and you have no steam because we're full on heavy oil. Is that true? Yeah, we're full on heavy oil. So we still need to do some voiding when we're full on one thing but not on the other things. So coal gas is excluded from that. Coke oven gas, I think we exclude as well. Coal gas just stays where it is and it gets redirected into something else. We also make a very simple solution for coke oven gas. It's not that valuable. We just void it if we have too much of it, because we really only need it for the hot air stuff. It is the ratio converting hot coke oven gas into syngas is just so bad. I think it's 10:1. It's not a good source of syngas. We could convert it, but yeah, I don't think it's worth it. So our big ones are petroleum gas, PTX, refined natural gas, naphtha, heavy oil. And the question is, do we want to produce coke as main product? What else do we produce out of here? I think we do want to have coke in the mix as well. Let's do some connecting of wires. So I want to filter out, I want to separate these two networks, but get the aggregate of them. So what we do is we get an arithmetic combinator here, and we just say each times 1, output each. It doesn't change the number, but what it does, it separates the networks. So if I connect this one to this one now, like these two wouldn't interfere and add each other up and interrupt the train requesting mechanic. And so we do the exact same thing here. We put a power pole down here. And then we connect these and connect this network together. And actually, we do that with the red wire. And so on here, we see 78,000. And why? Oh, because this is, yeah, this is connected. So we have the X signal as well. We could do just Coke. It doesn't really matter. So now we only have Coke. Should have Coke, right? Oh, Coke times 1, output Coke. Now we have the output 78,000 Coke on the red wire. So we're going to bring that red wire along. And we're going to connect it to heavy oil, naphtha, refined natural gas, BTX, and petroleum. And then we have one combinator that checks all of this. Is a decider combinator here. And we say the condition, the output is green signal 1 when we have petroleum gas. Petroleum gas is over 50K. And BTX is over 50K. So we have, if we have a half a storage container of this, we, of all of them, right, of all of these, if all of these and Coke are full, we don't void. We just stop production entirely. And then refined natural gas is over 50K. And naphtha is over 50K. And heavy oil is over 50K. And for Coke, how much do we want to save? For Coke, if it's over, how much does Coke stack to? Coke, I think, stacks to 100. So each train load is 1,000, 2,000, it's 4,000. Let's say we want to have 40K stored, so 10 train loads. We are producing really fast. We can potentially produce up to like 100 Coke per second. So we produce really fast. The other thing is also, if we want to use that for power production, we're also going to consume really fast. So I want to have a good buffer here as well. So that 10 trains is maybe too much. Let's say 30 trains. So if all of these are true, we output the signal, a green flag. Let's make it a red signal equals 1. And now we bring this one all the way back here as the red signal. And then we void back here and say So how do we do this? If we can do an overflow valve and say you only work if the signal is the red signal is 0. I think that's the easiest to do. Or do we void here? So, whoops. So we don't drain it from the tanks that fuel the trains. Yeah, we don't care about this. We care about what's in here. Right, this should always be full. So maybe we don't bring it up here. And so for coal gas, we don't void. For coke oven gas, we do that here as well. For BTX, we do the voiding here. And then we bring this actually back on as the green wire onto the result here. And then you read from the green wire and enable disable if this one equals 0, you are enabled. If this switches to 1, you will not void. Right, so right now it is working because yeah, we would need an overflow valve for this to work. So overflow valve, pump. So when this is over 80k, we void, but we check if we still are allowed to void to begin with. Enable if red signal equals 0. There we go. You can copy this one for petroleum gas, which we should never really need, because petroleum gas is produced in such little volumes. But you know, over time, if we're not using it, it could certainly be the case. And why are you pumping? Last flow when input is over 80%. I guess you're just filling yourself up. Nothing should make it here, right? Why are you pumping? When input is over 80%, like how is this over 80%? So it doesn't work with, how does it not work with tanks? So I guess this doesn't work with the pi tanks, apparently. Curious. Yeah, so the overflow valves don't seem to work with the pi tanks. Let's check. Let's check on these tanks. Do you drain even 7? Yeah, so it shouldn't void anything, right? Let's put a pump there. Oh, it doesn't work if valve is directly connected to pump, but it's the output, right? The input side should the input side should be fine, right? Let's see. Add one regular pipe between them. Interesting. Let's try this. Let's do this. Interesting. Wow. Good to know. Thank you very much. But I have an appointment coming up now, so I need to end stream. We made good progress. We got everything set up for cracking, and we just need to finalize everything that's necessary for voiding and then put down the blueprint. I don't know if I'm going to stream tonight again. Probably not. So thank you all for being here, and I hope to see you again tomorrow. Plan is to stream tomorrow around the same time, maybe a bit later. But thanks for being here, and I'll talk to you next time.